It's been said that better questions lead us naturally to better answers, and that it's in not knowing that we open the doorway to knowing. I'm Scott Lennox, and you're listening to The Beautiful Question, a consideration of things that truly matter in a complex world. As essential as silence is, finding it and settling into it can be something of a challenge in the middle of our constant busyness. Yet, as someone once told me, the rewards can be wonderful. Join me as we consider the nature of silence, where to find it, and how to build a warm and abiding relationship with it. Once again, I'll begin by sharing an entry from one of my personal journals. It's about a moment when I stepped beyond spoken language and into the precious gift of silence. It's in moments like these, when I'm feeling the most keenly grateful, that despite my ability to think clearly and to speak eloquently, language becomes inaccessible to me and no longer matters. For now, it's enough that I remain in silent recognition of the fact that I'm alive and so deeply blessed. When was the last time you experienced real silence, and how did you respond to it? You know, as much as we like having things well explained or spelled out, we're always capable of stepping into a state that is altogether beyond words. Each time that happens, we're being given an immeasurable gift, the opportunity to abide there for a while, quietly drinking in the moment. Yet many people find silence daunting or even frightening. Over the past 25 years, I've lost track of how many of my clients have told me that they can't tolerate silence. When I probe a little deeper, they tell me that they keep the radio or the television or the internet playing in the background all the time. They're afraid that if they don't, or if they're not busy doing something or talking with someone, they'll run into themselves and won't be able to handle what they find there. More often than not, I take what they tell me as an indication that they've forgotten what walking miracles they are, or that somewhere along the way, they've been turned away from their inner goodness and have been swallowed up by the noise that surrounds them. Yet, underneath it all, our innate goodness and our ability to be silent are still perfectly intact. Just now I'm thinking of that marvelous passage in Rumi's poem, The Great Wagon. Out beyond all ideas of wrongdoing and right-doing, there's a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other, doesn't make any sense. I've been to that field, and I'm willing to bet you have too. One of my first real silences was brought about by my trips to the fields and ponds behind my house when I was growing up. How vividly I remember some of my first youthful scientific discoveries. I used sterilized baby food jars to gather samples of water and the plants and other things that grew there. And then after carefully labeling them, I excitedly took them home to study them and see what I might find. I picture myself sitting at the small desk in my bedroom as I leaned over my microscope with one eye closed, bent down, and tumbling into a magical world that was revealed to me through the eyepiece. The elegant arrangement of cell structures, the veins in the wings of flying insects and dragonflies, the movement of the cilia or flagella in the microorganisms that were moving in a single drop that I had put onto my glass slides. For the first time, I wasn't just seeing something in a book. An entire microscopic world was right there at my fingertips. Slide by carefully prepared slide, I became so spellbound that I could barely breathe and couldn't speak. I remember gasping over and over out of pure wonder at what I saw. And that's quite an event for someone who in today's world would more than likely be labeled ADHD and dyslexic. I was someone whose mind never seemed to stop. But looking at what I saw in my microscope, it did stop. Truth be told, if I could go back in time and reclaim one single object from my childhood and adolescence, it would be the heavy, black magnificence of that Adams microscope. It was my first doorway into silence and the wonder of scientific discovery. The same silence washed through me that Christmas when I received my first telescope. Standing in the dark of my backyard in Fort Worth, my breath hanging in the winter air, I felt that I could reach out and touch the surface of the moon. And later, in another backyard, this time in North Dakota, I had the same reaction to seeing the northern lights dancing and shimmering across the sky like an immense green curtain. With each of those experiences, I was so deeply caught by wonder that my thinking mind came to a complete stop, and I found myself embraced by the warm invitation of inner silence. It might seem paradoxical that someone with profound tinnitus is talking to you about silence, yet it actually serves to make my point. The noise my brain produces is never-ending and can become so loud that I sometimes have to strain and focus carefully to hear conversations. Yet when I allow myself to become still enough to fall into wonder again, I sink below the perceived sounds in my head to the deeper silence and stillness that is always available. It's there, in inner silence, that clarity comes, and that I'm able to truly let go. There are times when silence is one of the most significant things we can experience. I think of the singer Deva Premal encouraging audiences at her concerts not to clap. Silence is the biggest gift, she tells them. With an ear toward befriending real silence and giving yourself the kind of gift Premal talks about, here are 4 beautiful questions that might help open that door. 1. Are you willing to be still enough for a while to allow your distractions, your concerns, and even your thoughts to flow past you? 2. Are you willing to make a place for silence the same way you would welcome a good friend, sitting in stillness with them without a word being said? 3. Is there something you're grateful for that brings you to that state of wonder and awe and peace? And 4, are you willing to take yourself off your self-imposed schedule for a few minutes and allow silence to quietly respond to your invitation? This week, without hurry or urgency, allow yourself to sit quietly in the warmth and grace of silence. Afterwards, notice the shift that naturally happens in you. You will have just given yourself a subtle yet powerful gift, the gift of coming safely home to yourself. My light with your light. Thank you again for listening. I'm continually inspired by our collaboration as we work and play together, building better lives and better possibilities for ourselves, for one another, for the world, and for our beautiful planet home. I look forward to your comments and to your feedback. You can also be inspired by visiting my good friends at Cosmos Journal. That's KOSMOS Journal. Their mission is to inform, inspire, and engage global transformation in harmony with all life. You can easily find them online at cosmosjournal.org. And beginning this past week, you'll find all of my podcasts and guided relaxation audios by visiting the newly launched Beautiful Question website at thebeautifulquestion.com. If you like what you hear, bookmark us and join us weekly. When the site is fully loaded, the podcasts will be arranged for you in categories, and you'll also be able to read their transcripts. I'm so excited to be reaching out to you in this more dynamic way. I'm Scott Lennox, and this has been The Beautiful Question. The Beautiful Question is a One Light production, written, recorded, produced, and engineered by Scott Lennox at Heart Rock Studios in Fort Worth, Texas, as a way of paying forward to life, being fully present, becoming better engaged with things that truly matter in a complex world, and committing to a healthier future for all of us.